Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and today I'm going to continue my series on the 90s cards. And earlier I did a video on the 91 Stadium Club. That was the first real premium card set. And when we discussed the 90s sets on the live stream with Dylan, I shared my two favorite sets, and these are them, and I got them in this box here. 91 Stadium Club and the 93 Upper Deck SP, and that's what I'm going to show you now. In the live stream, in the podcast, we were asked our two favorite sets from the 70s. First from the Tops, which was Stadium, and second was the Upper Deck SP was my second choice. And the reason I chose that set is because, of course it's got that. It's got the Derek Jeter, and that's really, in my opinion, the iconic card of the 90s. That is the card that really, if you look at all the cards from the 90s, I mean, I'm not talking about some of the PMGs and the things like that. I'm talking just regular, pretty much the base cards from the 90s. This is it, I mean, this is the card everyone looks at. This is the one everyone wants. And this is one of the toughest cards to grade, as you can see. And this one I pulled from the pack, came out 7.5. And corners are all nice. I did take a good look at it to see what it was. And it's the front that has, this particular one has a little bit of surface damage right there above the U. It's got like a little surface scratch. You see that? Right above the U. That's it. The rest, I didn't see any print lines, on it. It's really hard to look at it, but under here, but that was pretty much why I got the 7.5, because the corners, usually this is what kills it. That corner there usually is the killer. And the corners were nice on this one, on all of the corners. So that's the SP, and this is the first year that they came out with the SP cards, and they did it to compete against the Stadium Club. Upper Deck was producing at that point pretty bland looking cards, nothing really upscale, and then they came up with the premium brand of the SP brand, and the SP continues today. So it's one of the longest, along with the Stadium Club from Tops. This is Upper Deck's, pretty much the longest SPs continuing produce the SP cards. And this is the first year they produced it. And these here, the rookie cards, are the last ones in the set. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you all of the stars from the set, all of the Hall of Famers, give you a good kind of tour of the set so you can see what it looks like. As far as the Hall of Famers, it's all beautiful images, a lot of nice action shots in this set. So I'll go ahead and show that. And one of the things they did this year, which they had never, well, they had done before, but one of the things that they did was they began with a special die cut insert. And one of the things that Stadium Club did not do at the time, and this was a heavy time, there was heavy competition at this time, because Upper Deck came up, in '89 with the Griffey rookie. They came in big with that card and that set, and they really overtook Tops at that time. And then, Upper Deck became stale in, 90 and 91 and all that. And then Stadium Club came out with Tops to compete, and they kind of took the lead until really Upper Deck came up with the SP cards. And these had a gold foil here on that and on the top. This is the inserts set. Came in 1 in 9 packs, You get one Platinum Power, and the Platinum Power is a series of, I think it's 20, it's a 20 card set. But the cool thing about this is that they die cut. They had the die cut, and this was the first modern day die cut card. These Power prospects, the Platinum Power. The Platinum Power were the first die cut insert cards. And that was a big thing back then because these cards were really popular, along with the set, you know. And, you know, before that, you know, it wasn't the first die cut. And I'm going to throw in some vintage because I just love to throw in some vintage on all of my videos if I can. These were the first die cuts, that inserts that were put out by Topps. And these are the decollage. So these were actually the first die cut cards that were inserted into packs. So I'm gonna put these up here because I gotta throw in some vintage here. And that's the Rod Carew, that's the Luis Tiant, that's the Luis Aparicio, and I got a Tommy Davis over here too. So those are really the first die cut, kind of the last die cuts. There were other die cut cards that were made in those days. There were the ones in the 30s that were kind of like stand-up cards, and those were die cut and things like that. But you know, really the decollage was the first ones that started with the die cutting of the cards, and then Upper Deck SP began with the insert of the Platinum Power, which was the first kind of reviving the die cut cards. And the SP cards are 290 cards. I'm going to just start showing some of the cards here. And that's the Roberto Alomar. And you know, the most of the cards at the end were the rookie cards, the premier prospects. There's the Wade Boggs. And what I like about these cards is the first 18 cards is Joe Carter are all going to be all-star Hall of Famers. Not all Hall of Famers, but they were all the all-star players for that year. American League and National League. There's the Ken Griffey Jr. with a beautiful picture of Griffey there. You know, an iconic card. So they did compete with Stadium Club, and they actually beat them out, in my opinion, with the photos and the photography and the gold SP logo on that. And the back, of course, had nice pictures also. Sometimes they had two pictures on the back. So they had the, and here's one of the nicer, look at that Kirby Puckett picture there with the three-way here. I mean, you know, those were, back in '93, those were kind of record-setting type pictures, you know. And here's Cal Ripken doing a double play there. And, you know, so this set was really the attempt to come back strong against the Stadium Club, and SP actually did. And including the insert, you know, and what Topps did was they had their members, the Stadium Club members, which I showed you before, membership. And Upper Deck decided they were just going to go ahead and randomly insert cards in there with the die cut instead. There's the Bonds. There's Barry Larkin. So these are really nice cards because they have good photography. They've got like the gold foil. They do have the Upper Deck thing there, the 1993 National League All-Star. You can see it, National League All-Star. So they would have the All-Star. First ones were All-Star players. Here they had that. And then, now this is now, so these were the All-Stars. I just pulled out the Hall of Famers. The first 18 cards, say All-Star on top there. You can see it with the gold foil there. The first 18 cards. And then what they did was really cool, because then they put 9 cards of each team together. 9 cards of each 9 cards of each team. Which what happens is it fits perfectly into a page, into the binder page. So mines aren't in a binder, but if you put them in a binder, you're going to have the All-Stars. The first 2 pages are going to be all the All-Star players that I showed you some of those. And then after that, every page will be an entire team. And so first, we'll see. We'll start with the Astros, because it started with the A's. So you'll have the Astros. There's Jeff Bagwell. There's BGO. And you'll have all the Astros players with the same colors and all, nice looking in the binder page. And then next comes, the Athletics, and there's Dennis Eckersley striking out somebody. So these will look awesome in a binder, because you have all the A's players together, for me, all the Marlins players together, those type of things. Here's Ricky. Great picture of him literally stealing the base. So they got good pictures here. Here's Mark McGwire. They got him playing defense. You don't see too many cards of McGwire playing defense. Usually he's batting. So it's some unique photos that you don't see very often. Here's a Paul Molitor. Here comes Jack Morris, Greg Maddux. So I pulled out, basically the Hall of Famers. And again, the design is really a simple design. It's all borderless except for the border here and the bottom. So it's all the picture. And, they have the foil, which really you got to see it in person, because the foil goes here and it goes all the way up here and up here. And then the name is in the gold foil there, along with the upper deck. So there's Dion. Trying to be tagged out here. There's Dion. Here's Robin Yount making a catch there. And now comes the Cardinals. So here's Lee Smith. So I pulled out basically the bigger names. Here's Ozzie Smith. And now we got the Cubs. You got Sammy Sosa. And here's a great picture of Piazza. It's a great photo there of Piazza, tagging him out there. You got Darryl Strawberry. That's him just getting ready to hit that ball. Very nice pictures. Here's Larry Walker. And these cards are very condition sensitive. Not just, especially these, but all of them are, because, this was kind of the first time they created a lot of this foil and pictures and all that and put it all together. And some of them, you can see this one here, the Randy Johnson. Some of those cards, when I pulled them out, they kind of stuck together. So it kind of, very, very sensitive. So you gotta be careful with that. There's Eddie Murray. And since the pictures go all the way to the borders, like this, it's very easy to see any type of chipping at all, because it goes all the way. So even if you have any type of chipping on the borders or on the sides, it's very noticeable. So these were pulled from the packs, but again, they're not gonna be mint. Some of them may be, but most of them are going to be in great condition. But you got to be careful, because if you buy a box of these now, they do tend to brick a little bit slightly. You got to remember, these cards now are 30 years old. So I don't know if you consider them vintage. I don't consider them vintage, but they are 30-year-old cards. There's Jose Canseco pitching. He threw out his arm. This was remember he put him into pitch because he did have a good arm. That's why he played outfield. It was terrible in defense though. Couldn't, track down the ball, but he did have a pretty good arm. So they put him to pitch, and I think he hurt his arm there when he pitched for the Rangers. But you don't see those type of pictures too often. Here's another Ranger great, Julio Franco. And here's another, the Rangers had a great team back then. Juan Gonzalez. This guy was big, strong. And they had, at that time, they had Rafael Palmeiro. Another one that, should have been on the Hall of Fame, but he, PED guy. So, but a great player. And another great Rangers at the time. Rangers, of course, Nolan Ryan. Great picture of Nolan Ryan there. Nice card of Nolan Ryan, the intensity he had when he pitched. And now we're coming to the Red Sox, and here's Roger Clemens. There's Andre Dawson. So I'm giving you a nice little tour of the 93 SP cards. George Brett. Oh, that one got a little chipping on there. I gotta find another one of those. I have a bunch of doubles somewhere. There's Alan Trammell. And Lou Whitaker. Tiger Greats. Here's Dave Winfield. Getting ready to bat. Here's a great picture here of Bo Jackson, the White Sox. And then another one of the big cards there with the White Sox, Frank Thomas. Nice picture of Big Frank. And now we're down to the end, which is the Yankees, and main one in the Yankees is the Don Mattingly. Of course, they're Jeter and all that, but we're going to get to those now. So the first 270 cards of this set is the regular cards in the series, and they're all the regular cards in the series, but the last 20 cards are the premier prospects, that's where the Jeter falls into, and the other premier prospects are the Johnny Damon rookie card. So you see that little premier prospect logo there. These are super condition sensitive, as you know. So that's the Johnny Damon. In the back of these are nice. See, this one has a dual photo. That's Johnny Damon. The other rookie ones in here in the premier prospects are the Carlos Delgado. It's a nice Carlos Delgado picture in there. These are overlooked, but these should be considered, really, technically not his rookie card, but it's a good card, just like this Chipper Jones here. These cards are really, really tough to find, especially in beautiful condition. So look at these and check it out. The PSA population on this is very small on all of these premier prospect cards. So that's the Chipper Jones. And the last prospect here was the Manny Ramirez, Man Ram. The Manny Ramirez card. And again, that's just like the Jeter, just like Johnny Damon. Another beautiful card. These were the last ones. This is number 285. So this is the SP set, and the only insert were the Griffies. Not the Griffies, I mean the Platinum Power with the Griffey card. And there were a few other Hall of Famers in there. I've got most of this set. Probably should try to complete it, but there's a Mattingly in there. go back to the list here. There's a Barry Bonds. There's the Griffey. There's Fred McGriff, and a few other guys in the Frank Thomas. Other than that, you know, it's Matt Williams and Tim Salmon and Dean Palmer and Dave Justice, Ron Gantz as a fielder. So Darren Dalton. Not a lot of big name in there, but there is a Bonds and a Frank Thomas in there in that set. So anyway, guys, that's a pretty quick wrap up on the 1993 Upper Deck SP cards. To me, this was the one of the two best sets from the 90s. And what happened in this era was when all of the technology took place. From here, you know, Topps went on to do the Topps Finest, and that then they began with the chrome and the refractors, and you know, there were autograph cards before this when Upper Deck did it before, and even Dunruss and other guys did it. But the first die cut insert was in this set, and some of this foil technology was fairly new at that time. That's why this is so scarce, because it was really hard to get that the quality control good on those. But this was the beginning, really, of when all of the technology started taking off, and this was the era in the 90s where they began putting jersey pieces and patch pieces in cards, along with autographs, and you know, that's when everything got crazy. But all this technology that you see now, you know, in the 2020s, came from the mid 90s, and the competition that took place between Topps and Upper Deck and Leaf and all of the other Dunruss and Flair came out at that time, and there were just tons of premium brands. You know, Flair brought the metal cards out, the metal universe cards and things like that. And I mean, the competition got fierce, and that was one of the best times in the hobby industry. And I'm just hoping that things will continue with the technology, you know, with Fanatics being going to be the only one. These guys were challenged, and this is what happened. So anyway, quick discussion. My two favorite sets from the 90s, the Stadium Club, which I showed in the earlier video, and 93 Upper Deck SP, which I just showed you now. So thanks everyone for watching my videos. I truly appreciate it. Everyone have an awesome day. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. Please like and subscribe to my videos. I truly appreciate it, and it helps get my videos viewed a little bit more often. Thanks everyone. Have an awesome day. Orlando from A Collector's Dream.